Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Winning Mondays with KW Malaysia. My name is Mariah. I'm the Regional Training Coordinator for Malaysia, for KW Malaysia. And we're happy that we have people here. Looks like we have a small group this morning. What's going on, guys? Where's all our friends? Anyway, hello to everyone on Facebook. Maybe all of you are on Facebook today. I don't know. Yeah. But we're excited today. A lot of us just came back from the US on Saturday, so we're all jet lagged. I don't know if anyone here on the call is jet lagged with me. Yeah, getting up early and sleeping early. Yeah, I want to ask who here saw last week's one, where we talked about ahas from family reunion. This is about, because we went, Keller Williams every year has this huge event with thousands and thousands of people, right? I think this year was around 12,000 attendees. It was so amazing. And it was in Anaheim, California. And we had this big event with 60 countries represented. It was amazing. And I think we were there for 5-6 days or so of events and stuff. So last week, there were 7 of us on the call, all sharing about our ahas and our experience at family reunion. If you didn't see that one, I really recommend you go back and watch that one and hear all about what our takeaways were from family reunion. Some of our takeaways we only shared a bit. We have a lot more inside. Okay. So this morning we have another topic. We're going to hear about Charge the Storm, which is one of the talks that Gary gave. Yeah, so I have here with me Jonathan Lee. Hey, Jonathan, come and say hi.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I am getting out of jet lag. Unfortunately for me, I am ahead of everyone else because I came back earlier than Mariah. They all had more holidays than me, so
yes.
So I'm okay with my jet lag.
That's good. That's cool. Yeah, so this is Jonathan Lee, our CEO of Keller Williams Malaysia. I'm glad you're here today. So we're going to be talking about charging the storm and, vision and all these different things. Yeah, I think maybe before we get started, what is this phrase, charge the storm? What does it actually mean? I would love if you could just open up by sharing about this, John.
Yeah, so I think the concept of the storm, because we all know that globally there's a storm in terms of the economy. And some of you are feeling that potentially there is a slowdown in the market, or maybe things are not certain, right? We had a federal election. Now there's a state election coming up for 6 states. What's going to happen politically? What's going to happen economically? So a lot of all these uncertainties is brewing in a storm. And the storm we're talking about here is more of an economic storm that is going to impact all of us. I see this as a storm potentially, but I think in Malaysia, the storm is not as great as the one in the US. I think the US storm is a lot bigger and a lot more impactful compared to what we have. But yes, the storm. So the goal is this, then how do you face the storm, right? So the thing is, it is very intuitively that we all try to avoid the storm. So I'll give you an example. When there's a heavy thunderstorm raining outside there, what happens? All of us stay home.
You bring in the laundry. You don't drive. You stay home.
Yes, you don't go out. You stay home. You stay back and make sure that you don't get caught wet or get caught uncomfortable, because nobody likes to get wet. You get uncomfortable. You get sick, and some of us might get struck by thunder, right? We didn't strike lottery, but we strike thunder, right? So we are afraid. Right? So the fear comes in because the fear. It's driven by the fear of discomfort, right? So now that's the natural thing. That's the intuitive thing when a storm comes. Same thing when there's an economic storm and there's a sudden storm. All of us are trying to see how can we find a way to take cover and not get hit, or try our very best that it will just go away. Now, the realistic thing is storm lasts very long, most of the time. They last for a certain period of time. And the idea of charge the storm is they took an example of these buffaloes in Montana, these buffaloes that they treat storm very differently. When they see a snowstorm, how the buffaloes do it is they charge towards the storm and go through the storm and come out the other end dry without the storm. So the goal is, how do we charge through the storm, go through it quickly, so that we can get out of it faster. because the longer you stay in the storm comes to you, you'll be wiped out. That's the concept of charging the storm. Not sure if I answered the question.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I like it. So instead of just sitting and waiting for it to be over, you go and do something about it, and you go in the reverse direction, it sounds like, to get out of it faster.
Correct.
Yeah, that's very cool. So, all right. So talking about the economic crisis, saying it's, it's around the world, right? It's a global thing. And we are facing some of it here. So, all right. So you have this picture of being a buffalo and, running into the storm. So how do we do that actually? Like, how do we charge the storm? I mean, reality of, our situation as real estate agents and everything. How do we go about that?
So I think the first thing is we must understand what kind of storm we are in. And we must first come to some sort of realization that we are in some sort of a storm. Now, we were in the long storm in COVID. I'm not talking about COVID. This is past COVID already.
Okay.
Right. This is past COVID already. And this is something new, right? What's going on? What's happening here right now? And this is because of what has happened in COVID in the past 2 to 3 years. A lot of changes have changed and has kind of impacted the impact of our industry. Actually, I'm sharing in Mariah 2023 this weekend, this Friday. And my speaking engagement was tasked to speak on the 10 things that's impacting the industry. And one of the key things that's impacting the industry is change. There's so much changes that we cannot understand. So the change itself is a storm. The change itself, it's a challenge for most of us, right? And there are many changes, and there are so many changes that's happening at so much faster speed and velocity that we can imagine that we never experienced before. I think that's an example of a storm, right? And how do we take charge of this storm? Your question is, how do we do that? And I want to bring us to this thing that I learned in family reunion.
Okay.
I think all of us were in this main session with Gary Keller. Is my screen up?
Yeah.
Right. So the 4 things that they share with us in order for us to charge through the storm. Number 1, own your mindset. Okay. Number 2, master your new model and your new math. Number 3, fill the top of your funnel. Number 4, be purposeful with your people. Now, these are the 4 key pillars that help us to charge the storm. I will try my very best to go through it very fast, one by one, and then we can have a conversation on that. Let's just talk about the mindset part. I may not be able to have time to go through all 4 of them. Let's talk about the mindset part, right? So this is the mindset. You've got to have the mindset of being the buffalo, meaning you must want to charge forward. Right. You cannot hide, because this storm, because for a given example today, let's just say there's the storm that we are going through is that the whole market in my market has changed. I realized that suddenly got 3 agents came into my market, and these 3 new agents have more listings than me, for example, or they are more efficient than me, right? Or they have more things than me. So that's the storm. Now, you can run away from the market and go find another market, which you will find the same kind of people there, or you can be the buffalo and charge through the storm. So the goal is, how do you be the buffalo? Now, people always think that buffalo is not a very smart animal. I beg to differ. They are smart is because they are willing to do it in a team.
In a team.
So so the buffalo charge through as a herd, not as an individual being.
That's the secret.
So that's the secret. So be the buffalo, meaning think about how can you collaborate and leverage on others. What would that look like for you in your business? So that's the mindset. I think for a longest period of time, this industry is so individualistic. Yeah. Which I think is a problem. It's a problem because when you are individual, you cannot create the best value for the market. Right? So think through about that. Play the long game, meaning play the long game. Think of this as a long term. Think about this season as a dot in the next 20 years. And how would your business look like for the next 10 to 20 years? Right? So play the long-term game. Number 3, don't wish it away. Don't hope that everything will be okay, because everything is not going to be okay.
Right. Like like reality check. Like just
be realistic about stuff.
Right.
And number 4, your mindset is, how can I do more in this season? Right. So how do you do more? You cannot stay where you are with the amount of work and time that you spend, or the things that you do, and expect the same result or better result. You just have to think about, what is it that I need to do more? Now, doing more doesn't mean you do many things. Doing more could be doing one thing more, and stopping a lot of other stuff. Does that make sense?
right.
I'm going to pause here. Any thoughts, any questions that you have
Yeah.
for me?
No, I like this idea of I mean, we have the buffalo that's like, you know, big, strong, but actually it's like be the friendly buffalo, have a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna
Yes.
mention, I remember this thing about the bear. So
Yeah.
the opposite, right? Buffalo versus
So,
bear.
yeah. So who do you choose? The buffalo versus the bear, right? Or the bull versus the bear, right? So in the stock market, there's a bull market, there's a bear market, right? So bear hunkers down, wait for it to be over. Bull goes ahead and come out of the other side so stronger, sooner
Right.
and stronger. So
Right.
that's important to understand, right? Play the long game, evergreen mindset versus situational mindset. You think about long term, what's just thinking about what's happening today. Oh, today, my God, today is a bad market. Everything's not working well for me. It's the end of the world. That's not true. That's not true, right? Right. And then if you go forward and you think about, don't wish it away. Don't wish things to go away. Don't throw the baby out of the bathwater. Don't hope that everything will be okay. Nothing will go away. It's all gonna stay where it is, right? And think about do more, right? Shift into do more drive, right? The economy is getting lesser opportunities in the marketplace. Whereas there's less, you must do more to earn that less. Does that make sense? Maybe there are only 10 transactions before there were 100 transactions. You're going to work harder to fight to get that 10 transactions, right, in the market.
Right.
So that's I think where we can start thinking about how do we overcome and focus on charge the storm.
Right. Okay. So this is like about setting the mindset first, and
Right.
have this mindset of like, I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to have a team with me. I'm going to sit in reality, see what's coming forward. I'm going to, and I'm going to be the reality that I need to do more. There's less opportunities, like there's less, not opportunities, but there's less transactions out there. So I need to do more to win those transactions, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, so assuming we got this mindset on, we put on our helmet of the buffalo helmet. We need a buffalo hat, guys. Oh, guys, we need a buffalo hat. This is good. Like a team buffalo hat. Okay,
right.
So let's say we got this sorted. So where do we start? What's the first thing to go into once you got the mindset? So what's like step 1, step 2, step 3 kind of thing? Yeah.
I think first of all, you need to take a step back and be positive, and look at the possibilities that you have right now. Everything becomes a potential opportunity if you take a step back and look at things. So for example, my market is slower right now, right? The opportunity would be, I then have a chance. That means there will be lesser agents in this market if the market is slower. If I stay strong, if I stay forward, if I stay competitive, and I do better value to my clients, I would be ahead. That's the opportunity. That's an example of opportunity, right? So you got to think about what's the possibility and look at the positivity of this crisis that's happening here right now. Every crisis has an opportunity, right? Because most of the time, 99% of the people would sit and wait during crisis. Proven. As I give you the example of the rain and the storm, everyone stays home and wait. Everyone stays home and wait. So imagine today if it's raining and storm and there was no Grab driver out there, there's no Grab food delivery out there, and you are the only one that is delivering food, and you say, because of the storm, I'm going to charge extra $20. How many business will I get that day?
You're going to do well. You're going to do well.
Exactly. So if you look at it this way and you start thinking, what's the opportunity, right? So you got to pause and look at the positive side, and what's the opportunity that you have, right? Number 2 is you got to think about how to continually play offense. How do you attack the market, right? I during the COVID time, I sat down and I met this agent. And this agent told me, during COVID, was it the best time to do any business? I actually stayed home and didn't do anything for 1.5 years. And after 1.5 years, when he came back to the business, he tried to go back to the business. He realized he's out of the business.
Wow.
Because there were other competitors that is talking to his client, talking to his listings, talking to the buyers, and he is so behind.
Right. He's like starting over again.
Yeah, so you cannot wait for the best moment to act. So the challenge I think most of us have today is we are trying to find a way not to lose.
You know, you're just reminding me, a number of years ago, I went on this long swim. I did a like an ocean swim. It was 6.5 kilometers in like Terengganu side and in the ocean. So we had to swim from the island, Kapas Marang, Kapas, Pulau Kapas to the Marang, to the mainland. And I remember, so I was swimming along, right? And I can see it's a 4 hour, you have 4 hours to complete. So I remember around like 3 hours and I thought, oh, I'm so near, I can see the shore. And I thought like, oh, I'm going to make such good time. I was very happy with myself. But then the current though, I didn't realize the current was taking me backwards and taking me sideways, right? And I remember I was like, hey, what's happening? How come every time I look up, suddenly the goal is like moving direction and getting further away? And I realized I was very tired, right? So I wasn't moving fast enough. I was just kind of like resting. I was resting a lot. And by resting, I didn't realize I'm moving backwards. I'm moving further away. And I realized I am not going to get to my goal unless I can swim faster than this current. I literally have to go faster than this current and fight for my life kind of thing, you know? So I did that. I went crazy, you know, I started like just swimming very, very hard. And it was tough, but I actually got there. I actually overcame, I got to the end, you know, and I made it within time. I was so happy. But I mean, I'm just seeing this kind of the same thing, right? If you don't move fast enough, you're actually going to go backwards.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Because the storm will push you backwards. So imagine you are now in a thunderstorm, you go out of the house and you stand still.
Okay.
Can you just picture that? Just picture that right now. You stand still in the middle of the storm outside your house.
Yeah.
You're trying to go forward, but you didn't want to do anything, you just stand still. You would immediately go backwards. Because by not doing anything, the storm pushed you backwards already.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, all right. So then having that really clear mindset, you got to look for the other people who are willing to maybe join with you and also have the same mindset. Let's go forward. Let's actually work even harder to, yeah. So once you're there, like, how do we, like, you know, I know we're all about models, right? Keller Williams all about models. Like, how do we start to put things in place? You know, how do we do that?
So
Gary say?
one of the things that you have to do is don't focus on the storm, but focus on what you can do to control certain things. So you get to be clear what are things that you can control, what you cannot control. So for example, we cannot control how many buyers are there out there.
Okay.
We can't control that. But we can control how many people we talk to find the buyers. We can control that. So one of the things that you need to think about is in our business is what's the number? You got to realign your economic model again. The numbers must make sense, right? Meaning, right, I may have to triple down my lead generation right now to talk to more owners and more frequently. So give an example. This is a classic example of most agents. They go through a list of owners that they have in their database and they call them one round. After 2 days, they say they only find 2 listings. That's it. Nobody wants to sell.
Right.
But the idea is you should be calling these leads continuously for the next rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right. What's the system? Monthly, weekly, build it up, right? So
build that relationship, like contact them every couple of weeks or at least once a month or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Very cool.
So in any economic crisis or any economic storm, you are bound to have people wanting to cash out or wanting to liquidate assets. Meaning this is the right time to sit down and get listings as much as you can. Now, of course, the challenge we have is, okay, what's the owner's not serious to sell or whatever. That's besides that point, right? That's a separate conversation. How do you handle owners and all that? But right now, you need to go down to the ground and talk to more people and have more database in your system. And what does that number look like? So for example, if you want to hit this goal of $1 million commission, right? How many transactions must happen? And how many leads and how many appointments will happen. I will look at the leads and appointments. I will go up ×4 or ×5 or ×10, whatever it is. You get to multiply it at a higher intense because it is a tougher market, right? I also have people that only focus on how do I get quality leads. And that's a myth,
right? Okay, tell me, explain what you mean. Why do you say it's a myth?
There is only quality follow-up, quality agent practices. the quality leads will come to you if you are committed to the process. Are you committed to the process to constantly follow and talk to people and build relationship and add value to them? Nobody is dropping in the good market. The concept of quarterly leads may seems to be good because why? Suddenly everybody wants to buy.
Right.
Suddenly everybody wants to sell to make money, right? So that kind of quality will come because the market is coming from the angle where it's a hot market.
Hot,
But
right?
today I don't think we are a hot market right now. But we are in a market where the people who have money are looking to buy, looking for opportunity, right? So how many of these people do you have in your database? So I think the idea of getting your numbers correct and realigning your numbers and setting up your numbers for success, which means the doing more is basically what I need to do to be able to talk to more people that can give me more appointments, that can give me more potential closings. It's that simple. Get that math correct.
Right. Get the math correct. Okay. So just now when you were sharing the slide, right, there was 4. It started with mindset. What were the other 3? Do you want to continue with the other items?
Mindset, play the long game.
Play the long game. I see.
Don't wish it away. And do more.
Okay.
I think the focus should be how do you do more, right? And we talk about that. And the next thing is master your new model, master the new things that you need to do to achieve the number. Now, if what you are doing was giving you 10 appointments a week, for example, you now need 30 appointments. What do you need to change to get 30 appointments?
Yeah, how are you going to do that? How are you going to multiply to that level, right? You might feel like, I don't have time to do that. How's that possible? It was so hard already to get 10. Maybe people will say this, right? So what do you recommend? Like, how do you get there?
So you need to realign and relook at certain things. And a lot of times, right, during crisis, right, it's actually the time to eliminate things that doesn't matter. The opportunity that we have today, the gift that is given to us is to eliminate things that doesn't matter. Right? I give you an example. If I'm an agent today, I was so focused on and I like to use videos, and it doesn't mean that I don't agree in doing videos, guys. Don't get me wrong. But we all can agree that creating videos are not for everyone. Not everyone has the talent to do that. You all agree? Some can do it very well. They can do it very fast. They can do 3 videos very fast and looks very nice. Some of us need to do 1 video and take 10 years to do the video, right? And it's still not nice.
Yeah.
Right? So it's time to think through of things that you don't need to do.
Right. Not everyone needs to do everything. Correct.
And it's time to eliminate the things that doesn't matter, the listing that doesn't matter, the activities that doesn't matter, and focus on the activities that gives you the highest opportunity to achieve your goals, your daily, monthly, weekly goals. You got to focus on that. And a lot of times, I tell you this in this season, right? One of the things that work for me is I choose the people I spend time with.
Okay.
I choose to speak to people that is in alignment with me in my season right now.
In alignment with you, what does that mean?
So for example, during my real estate agent time, I remember real estate agent always like to go networking. And our networking is sitting down in a coffee shop and talk for 4 hours. And we network a lot. And the network is between you and me. We exchange network, 2 of us talking, right? 3 of us talking, right? And we realized after the conversation, we all had fun. It feels nice, but it doesn't add value to my business. It's not helping.
Okay.
So who I network with, who I spend time with, has to help me to achieve my goal right now. In my working hours, of course, your private time, I know that's fine. But during your working time, right, think about who your relationship is, because the people that is in alignment with this, that wants to focus on charging the storm, you should be in relationship with them.
Okay.
Right. You should be focusing on it. So those are the things that we need to think about, right?
Like, don't talk to no bears. Talk to the other buffaloes.
Yes, correct. Because you know what? Everybody sit down. If you go into this conversation, and the whole conversation is all about complaints. It's bad, it's very bad, it's bad. And the worst thing in these conversations that will come out is very common one. In those days, we used to do this. In those days, we used to do that. In those days, we were like this. Last time, it was like that. So all of us like to live in the past.
Right.
So you don't want to be in that kind of conversation.
Right. It's not helping you to move forward, right? It's just like sitting and it doesn't make you have any progress.
So now more than ever, the amount of time you spend and what you do with the time matters.
Yeah.
It really, really matters. How you spend it, how you spend your money, how you spend your resources, how you spend your effort, it matters a lot.
So,
it really, really matters.
Right. You started by talking about, not everyone needs to make videos, for example, right? Yeah. So I remember when I was in one of the sessions at Family Reunion, they were saying, I thought this was quite cool. They were saying, actually, I saw there were some people that literally make all of their, everything is video for them. Their entire business is based on video. And then there's others that don't do any videos, right? So, I mean, definitely video is a way that can be very successful, right?
Correct.
And they were saying that when we go into this like shift time, the storm time, it's a time to like do an audit of all your lead gen methods, and you look through and you find those that are the most effective and just narrow and focus on those couple ones and literally drop the other ones that are not not so effective, right?
Correct. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, it really surprised me because you would think, right? You'd think, okay, I need to do more. I have a lot going. I need to go and add more. I need to go and add more lead gen methods. Let me try videos. Let me try this. I'm going to try more things to get more people. But actually, it's the reverse. It's the opposite.
Correct.
Which really surprised me. So
correct.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Yeah.
I think sometimes we get confused in doing more. Is if you have more things, you have to have more different things, different channels, different products, right? Sometimes it's just that one product that sells.
Right.
It's just that one thing that sells. It's just that one thing that we went to this restaurant, right, in the US. I think Mariah, you and I went to this fast food restaurant called In-N-Out Burger.
Oh yeah.
What do they sell there?
Guys, it's like the tiniest menu I've ever seen in my life in a restaurant. They have like whatever the 5 items, and there's no size difference. It's just like it's so weird.
It's soft drink, milkshakes, French fries, and cheeseburger. That's it. There's 4 things. You go in there, there's no fried chicken, there's no nasi lemak, there's nothing. It's just cheeseburger, and they do the cheeseburger very well.
There's one burger, guys. Just like one kind of burger.
Yeah, just one kind of burger, and people queue up for it.
And you can even the drink only have one size.
Yeah, everything is one. So it's very focused, right? And I think in this season is that opportunity for us to realign that focus and not do so many things and just do the things that matter. Now, if you have opportunity, you have the scale and you have the resources to do many things, great, do more of that. But most of us may not have, right? Most of us have limited resources. Then you're going to focus on what matters, right? What really? I was just having a conversation with Ai-Ching the other day in the office, and the agents were telling her, how some of the marketing doesn't work, all this doesn't work. We need to go and get the best portal, and the best portal will support us. And I actually just throw a question to the agent and say, hey, look, if you want to go into this market and you want to focus on using portals alone, for example, if you go into Mont Kiara market, you don't have 20 to 30,000 a year. Your advertisement is mostly useless inside the portal.
Wow.
It's very simple. So don't talk about which portal works better, because in every portal or every opportunity, some of them cost more money. And you've got to be very clear. If I want to compete with the Mont Kiara agents in the portal advertisement, you better prepare with 20 to 30,000 cash.
Wow.
In order to at least come to a certain level. Doesn't mean you're going to have a great success. Right? Most of them spend 50, 60,000 to 100,000 a year.
Wow.
You need 20,000 to get in the door.
Okay.
So be very clear. Is that the pathway that you want to go to?
Right. That means you really need to plan out your budget. You need to be very clear. Like, is this, I mean, you could do it if it makes sense, right? But is this the best way for you to move forward? You have to lay out your numbers clearly.
Correct.
Nice one. Right. So yeah, so you're saying we need to focus, don't put away all those things that are not necessary. Right now we're just focused on lead gen methods and drop those ones that are maybe not so less necessary. What are other things when you talk about do the necessary things, drop the unnecessary things? What else is there that's unnecessary besides having too much networking that's not useful?
Noises, a lot of noises in the market. Noises meaning, everyone has an opinion. This is a time where nobody knows actually what's happening. The IMF just came out and said there's no recession coming this year.
Oh,
Now, IMF say that all the time.
huh,
A lot of people don't know what's happening, honestly.
right. So
A
do you
lot of
John, what's happening?
when you don't know what's happening, when you know that there is a lot of confusion, you only know something there's a storm. How does the storm look like? How does it pan out? What does it mean? And how is it impacting? What's the impact of the storm? We don't know how big the storm is. Like, it's going to rain. How heavy is going to rain? We don't know. We only know when the rain comes. So the goal is don't be caught up with too much noises. Be focused on what matters, right? And be clear about your lead gen goals. Be clear about your funnel, your lead gen funnels, your leads, how many people you're going to speak to, how many people you're going to talk to. Be very clear about that. Be hyper focused on that. Sometimes people are trying to catch the market. Maybe only in June, if I do this, everything will be okay. You know what I mean? They're all trying to catch the market, but you cannot catch the market. You will not be able to catch the market because the market is so complex.
Okay.
Nobody can catch it, right? So one of the things is be clear of all these noises. I know I have people in the industry saying, this year is going to be a great year. Every year they say that one. Every year they go on the press and they say this is going to be a great year. Everything is great year. How great has it been so far?
Well, I guess, when you talk about being great, what do they say? It's going to be great for some people, right?
Correct. It's going to be great for some people. It's not great for everyone. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, right.
So it's great for some people is because they are doing the work.
Yeah.
And they're not focusing on the noise. And they're not focusing when is the best time to do the work. The best time is now.
Yeah.
Right. I always have this question from agents: is this the right timing to do this? Is this the right action step? I say there's no right time or right action step. There is that every time is the right time to lead gen.
Right,
it's as simple as that, right? If you don't get your head behind it, right, it doesn't really matter. Right.
It's gonna be a great year for those buffaloes that are
absolutely,
like that find their team, that are able to move forward. Yeah.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. I believe this is a great year. It's just that you need to know that how to navigate the storm to have a great year. That's it. It's not complex, right? So if you know how to do that, preparation is very important. How many of us are preparing? Right? Maybe we can say second half. My prediction is second half of this year, the market will pick up again. But are we prepared for it? No? Right. What are you doing right now to grab the market? And we are already
get the market share, right?
Yeah, we are already at the end of the first quarter already.
Yeah.
It's very fast. It's very fast. Second quarter is going to come. Third quarter is going to happen. Everything's going to pick up again. Are you prepared?
So how about you are the CEO of Keller Williams Malaysia. So how are you, what's your vision for the year? How are you wanting to move forward, in this year?
I think as an organization, we are still focused on how to help agents do better and focus on things that matter. I am not a fan of making things very hype. I'm not a fan of making a feel good factor. I'm a fan of helping people get things right. So I think a lot of hard conversations has to happen with agents, with people in the organization. How do we help you all focus on things that matter? Things that matter, right? Meaning, how do we help you to learn how to lead gen better? How do we help you to message to the market better? I think those are the things. Continuous education is something that we're going to work on very hard this couple of years. I think that the area of adoption of technology to empower our business, to power our business, is also going to be a key focus. We are not running away from that. We are not saying that the technology is perfect, but we are saying that if you don't use technology, your life is also not going to be perfect, right? It's going to be a challenging time. So how do we help people understand and navigate through that? I think growth is very important. If you are asking agents to grow, we as a region, as a company, needs to grow as well. How are we doing that, right? So the focus is always about growing the company. And the focus is also about doing things that matter. As I say all these things, I must practice all these things. Right. Look at me today. I don't have an office. I'm sitting in my home office right now because having an office is a cost that doesn't matter. It's a cost that matter. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's a cost that matter, but it's a thing that doesn't matter, right? It doesn't really
Makes
matter
sense.
whether I have, yeah, right now. So if I can manage costs this way, and people say, wow, then you don't look good. People say you're not doing well. Well, people can think and feel how they want to feel, but I'm very clear what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Right? I'm very clear because I cut this cost. That costs matter because I then can fund something else to help other agents.
Mhm.
Right? So that's living by example, right? So I think as leadership in the organization, we've got to walk the talk. We've got to do what we say what we do, right? So that's what we are planning, we are working on. And you'll be surprised, we may have new market center growing out this year, right? We stay tuned for stay tuned for the announcements that we have very soon, that you might see new market center coming online. But we are looking at growing, right? But sometimes we have to cut certain things, have to reduce certain things in order to grow forward.
Right.
You have to take away excess baggages. You have to take away things that doesn't matter or matter lesser than the things and the other things, because you have to make choices, right? In Storm, you have to make choices, right? You have to take chances in those choices that you make.
Right. It's hard to run fast through a storm if you have a lot of things to carry behind you, right? You have to
Absolutely, yes.
run light. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. So this storm is an opportunity for us to realign ourselves.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so I heard you saying that the focus is, as always, to help agents to do better. And when you mentioned that, it's about, setting the model and being able to do more to reach those numbers, right? Like how many appointments you need each week. Maybe you're going to need to do a lot more to get those appointments, or need to get even more appointments to get the final closings, right? So, and in order to do that, you're saying education and technology. So that's two things for the agents to look forward to, is, education opportunities and technology. Yeah. And have those conversations, right? Those serious conversations to help to have the mindset and the reality check of their numbers.
Correct.
That's good. Yeah. And then on the bigger level, you're saying, the leadership are going to practice what they preach. And they're also, doing what's necessary, cutting off those unnecessary things to be able to move forward. Right.
Correct. I think in this storm is an opportunity for us to grow into something stronger. And the concept of being stronger doesn't mean it sits differently from everyone. Right? To give you an example, just because the guy drives a Toyota Camry doesn't mean he's poorer than a guy who's driving a Mercedes-Benz.
Okay.
So I want you to sink in and think about that right now. Just because that person is driving a Toyota Camry doesn't mean he's poorer than a person who's driving a Mercedes-Benz.
So don't go buying your Ferrari yet.
It's not that. It's a concept, right? It's that I must look good to be good.
Right.
I don't subscribe to that. Is because at the end of the day, it's how much money you have in the bank account that matters. Right? It's how much growth that you have that matters. It's how much profit that you have that matters. How you look and how you. I mean, you and I went to shop in the Ross, right, in the US, right, where it's like a factory. We all go crazy, right? We can buy Tommy Hilfiger shirts for $10, right? Where other people want to walk in and buy for $100, right? But I will buy the $10 one. But doesn't make me poorer than others.
Right. It's just your
it
choice.
may make me. It may indicate that I might be a little bit better at calculating than others.
Okay.
Right, it may be, right. So I did not buy one for you, Francis, because they didn't have your size. But anyway, yeah. So this is where I think we all need to be clear. Just because it's a Camry doesn't mean it's lesser off than a Mercedes-Benz.
Now I'm like imagining you have like the bears inside like the Mercedes, and then like the buffalo on their little bicycle.
Correct. You're right. So sometimes perception may kill us. Having the wrong perception may kill us. I look at Gary Keller sharing in his conversations. He was driving a Ford Taurus for the longest period of time.
It's a very
but he was a multi-millionaire.
Oh, wow.
Now it's a choice. I'm not saying you drive Mercedes is a bad thing. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Right. I drive a European car as well, so it doesn't mean that it's bad. But what I'm saying is, just because it doesn't look like what others is, it doesn't mean it's worse off.
Right.
Right.
You have to. Right. So that's where the hard conversations, and sometimes you have to make decisions that are difficult, right? Yeah. As you move forward.
Correct.
Right. So yeah, what else can we do? Like, okay, you mentioned about, you have to fill the funnel or whatever. I don't remember that list on the items, how we can go about getting those, because like you said, there's less transactions out there, there's less people, so we have to work a bit harder. So how are we going to get those numbers to build up? Yeah.
Let me give you this concept here that I learned in family reunion.
Okay.
It's build a morphia. In order for you to have people responding to you faster or more, you need to have a morphia, what we call make an offer for immediate response. So that's an example of a morphia. So example of morphia would be, I see a lot of agents doing that right now. I see one very smart agent that comes out in my Facebook all the time. Please click on this and ask me for a free market report in KLCC.
Nice.
That's a morphia, right? So in order for you to build a morphia that can get faster response, is number one, identify the problem. So the KLCC, for example, in the past 3 years has been a challenging market. A lot of owners struggle because the market was in lockdown, aspects was lesser, rental was difficult, blah, 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 and so on, right? So on and so forth. So that's a common problem. What's my property market value worth right now? How fast can I sell? So these are the identifying common problems and figuring out what is it that you can do to solve those problems, right? And the third thing is take your solution to the problem and package it into a program. What would that program look like? Integrate the program into your business and market the program. So I give an example of how does this look like, right? I used to do the market in the Mont Kiara area. The common problem is there were very little stock in Mont Kiara in those days during my time.
Okay.
So one of the things that I understand that there's very little stock is I make sure I tell people that I did my homework, I did my check. I have a lot of agents with ready stocks, and I kind of tell everyone I've got a buffet of stocks available right now. And the way I approach the market is spend 3 hours or 4 hours with me, and you get to see the whole market in Mont Kiara.
Oh, you take them for a tour.
Yes, take it for a tour. I don't tell them to look at one listing. I come and tell them, hey, look, if you sit down with me in the next 4 or 5 hours, I will make sure that you know how much what is in this market for you, and then you will know what's the value that you can bring, that you can buy with the money that you have right now. It's an education tour. That was my morphia.
Okay.
And my program is always this, Mr. Tan, I can only spend 4 hours with you this week because I've got 20 other people lining up right now.
Okay.
When I bring people in, I make sure that I send them a list of these things that I'm going to show them. It's all in some sort of a schedule format with information inside there. It's my program. So when they see me, right, they know they are seeing the whole market, and they know that I know my stuff.
Yeah.
So my morphia was, I'm the one-stop solution in this place. I have all the listings. I have all the opportunities. Let me show you and explain and educate to you.
Nice.
Right. I will even send them a little map that I make. It's not a map actually. It's like a little list of key things in that location. For example, where are the banks, where are the restaurants, the international schools, blah 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 blah, and they will all have that. Right. So these are the things that a program that you all need to think about having, to kind of set aside from other people. Right. Right.
So you're making yourself out to be the local area expert, and then you're giving the morphia make offer for immediate response. Like if you want to see all this, you want to see the whole market, come and I will spend the time with you. Yeah, reply to me, right, or whatever. Yeah, make it
correct. Let me take you on a tour. because
Okay.
everybody likes to go to see it shopping. Everybody likes shopping. So for example, if I'm a buyer and I am interested to look at properties, I want to see more than, I won't see just one.
Right.
In reality, right, most of us, like, you do shopping, you don't go to the shop and just look at one dress and buy that one dress, right? You don't. You look at more. You look at multiple. You want choices. Correct, right? I'm just going back to all our shopping scenes that we did in the US, right? All of us was sitting in the shopping centers, right? But that's the reality. So if you know that's the reality of the behavior, but nobody is giving that solution. Why don't you offer that solution?
That's nice. I like it. They'd be like, hey, come in and take a tour with me, make an appointment, and I'll bring you for a tour.
Correct.
It's quite cool. It's a good one. Yeah. Right. So we were talking about how they can get more leads, more appointments and all that, right? How they can fill up their funnel, with more leads. Yeah, I like this, so that you can use a Mofir. Yeah. I think it's really good to spend time to set aside time to think about how to make those Mofir, right? That will be relevant to your market, relevant to the people today of what's going on. This is really key.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So what else do you have to share with us about this Charge the Storm? Anything else that we can look at together?
I think in a storm, there will be people that will raise their hand and say, I will charge with you. And there will be people that say, no, I'm going to back out.
Okay.
And you just have to understand that's going to happen. Right. And you're going to make peace with that, right? Some people are just not going to support you in this storm. Some people will support you in this storm. The challenge is identify those who are supporting you and move forward together with you. That's critical. That's very important, because I think the people that you surround with right now is very crucial in this market. It's not going to be a beautiful market. It will be a beautiful market after second half to next year, but in this season, this right now is going to be very tough, very, very tough, at least for the next 6 months.
Right.
So I think people that you spend time with, the community that you have, it's very critical. Make sure that everybody is in a planet Earth kind of community, because there are a lot of communities right now out there who are in a different planet, right? Who are not in realistic, they're not realistic.
Oh, okay. Can you give an example? What do you mean by that? Yeah.
No, all things are possible. Go and just do charge, just do whatever you need to do. I mean, just don't think so much, just don't do it. No, I have some people say, don't commit to buy a Mercedes-Benz right now so that will help you, motivate you. I think that's not setting you up for success. I'm sorry. So be very careful how you spend your money, how you spend your resources, and how you spend your time. That's very important, because those people are from a different planet. As I said, just because I'm driving a Camry doesn't mean I'm poorer than a person driving a Mercedes-Benz. Always remember this concept. I was taught this concept by this guy that I met many years ago. He was one of the owners in the property that I was marketing in this this development called Duta Nusantara. One day he showed up in a Myvi, it's not a Myvi, I think it's a Myvi. Not a Myvi, I'm sorry, a Kalisa. If you all remember, what's the Kalisa?
Oh.
And he showed up, I think I shared this story. He showed the Kalisa and I look at it, are you sure you're the owner? So I mean, in my head, there was the question. I asked him, why are you driving this car? I just, out of curiosity, after the meeting, he passed me the listing. I asked him, why are you driving this car? I said, I work in downtown KLCC, downtown, in one of the bank buildings next to KWSP. And he was a UOB bank, by the way, I think next to KWSP. And during the peak time, when I'm rushing to go back, because I'm a head of department, and I go for meetings, it's so difficult to find parking. You know what I would do? I would put my Kalisa in front of the bus stop and open the bonnet as if there's an engine problem. Now I'll go for my meeting.
Are you serious?
I'm not serious. It's real story. Real story.
Genius. It's genius.
Real story. And the policeman and the DPKL people will feel very pity to tow my car away.
Oh,
and I'll put a note there and say, sorry, my car is broken down. I'll come back in half an hour's time. I'm looking for help.
But does he end up losing his battery?
No, he has not. He has not. No, he has not. It's there. People say they pity him. So he's smart. This guy is smart. I mean, he's thinking out of the box. I mean, the fact that he can share with me this, right, It's quite interesting, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
think
I
about it,
love
it's
it.
quite interesting. It's quite
Super
interesting.
super
But
practical and clever.
he owns multiple properties, more than me. He's definitely richer than me, and still richer than me now. I'm
Right.
still in the relationship with him. Sometimes he calls me. He's a very funny guy. But you can know that he's not the normal, the average person, right? He's thinking differently, right? But the fact that of that matter, that lesson taught me that just because I'm driving a different car, a lesser car, or I dress lesser, doesn't make me poorer.
Right.
That's the principle that I learned from him. And how successful people are, how if you study the most of successful people, they practice a very minimalistic life, and they focus on things that matter. That's why they're successful. Lesser distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I drive a European car, my wife complains all the time because it's in the workshop all the time. Right? You spend more money fixing the car all the
Right.
time. Yes. So she's always asking me, when are you going to get rid of the car? So
She wants you to have a car that doesn't get broken, but you can pretend it's broken by parking it on the side.
right.
Not the car
So
that really is broken.
so this is something that you have to understand, because sometimes in this industry we are all personality driven, so personality driven that we get caught into this trap that sometimes we get stuck in, we can't get out. And the trap is called too much expenses that you cannot bear.
Yeah, right. This expenses issue.
It's a trap. It's a real trap. Trust me, man, it's a real trap. And when you get into that trap, it's so hard to get out. You can't focus in your business. You can't focus in your life because you're figuring out how to pay bills. Your rest of your life is how do you pay debts? How do you pay bills? That's not the life that you want to live in. That's very important. So you get to think and set the right example. So as a leader in the organization, it is also my task to set the right example.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So you won't see me in all this fancy stuff because I don't like it. And if I do something that's fancy, I like to be very private about it. I don't want you all to know what I eat, what I do. I don't want that, because I want to have my private life. It's just me. It's not wrong, right? So it's, yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. No, that's good. It's a good reminder, right? Because I think everyone's different though, right? I know some people, maybe having this Mercedes is literally their big why.
Yeah. Sure.
It could be, right. Yeah. But
Nothing
some of
wrong
us,
with that. I'm not judging.
Yeah. But for those of us that is not like the main thing, we don't need to think that we have to have this in order to achieve if our goal is to send our kids to like very nice university and like, have some, retire at a certain age and all that, then maybe we need to realize we don't need to follow the common model that we see out there, that you have to look a certain way, have a certain car in order to get that goal, right? It's more about
Correct.
the numbers and the attitude, the mindset, the numbers, and putting the work in, putting in the effort.
Correct. I think all of us need to focus on the work right now.
Right.
Really focus on the work. Really focus on the things that matters, that will help us achieve our goals, to fund our lives and to fund our big why. And if your big why is to get the Mercedes-Benz, great. Focus on the work. You will get your Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting a Mercedes-Benz is the easiest thing to achieve, if you ask me. It's easy. Because every month is only 3,500 ringgit installment. That's it.
Right.
Figure out how to earn an income of 10,000 a month consistently for 12 months. You will earn your Mercedes-Benz. It's not complex.
Okay.
It's not complex. Right. I think the other thing I want to just highlight is in this season, leadership is very critical. Leadership and self-leadership is very important. And this is the season that we will see ourselves failing forward more. The challenge is the margin for error is lesser. It's lesser margin for error, but we will have to fail forward to understand what works and what doesn't work. And why I say leadership is important is because the first thing that you lead yourself is you need to first admit that, okay, that's the mistake. Okay, that's wrong. I need to move forward. Hey, that's a wrong choice. I need to move forward. Because when you don't realize that we are making mistakes, or what is wrong, what is the mistake, or what is not the best choice, we get into trouble. Because I see most people like to blame others. Like, he told me to do this, I do, that's why I do, that's why I like that.
Right,
You
right.
know, so you shouldn't come into that kind of mindset. It should be, what is it that I did that will help me achieve my goal this week? So self-reflection, which is self-leadership, it's even more critical this season.
The self-reflection, self-leadership. Okay.
Yeah, because if you don't have that, let me tell you what will happen. You'll be more bitter because it's always blaming other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what
So
happens? Yeah, if you go down that road, where does it lead to? I mean, other than being bitter.
no, you blame other people, you will not progress because you didn't see what was your problem.
Right. So you won't
You didn't
actually
see what's your problem.
get you to achieve your results any faster.
Correct. Because you're always looking at what other people say and did that's wrong. But what did I do that didn't help me to get what I want to get? Don't blame the people that advise you. Don't blame the people that serve you, because you are the one that chose them.
Oh,
Take ownership. So I think ownership and self-leadership is very critical in this season. I hear Gary talks about that a lot this year, and I totally agree with him, because self-ownership and self-leadership is the fundamental pillar to help us go through this storm together.
right. Okay, I got it. We need to be a bold buffalo and not the blaming bitter bear. I gotta come up with something, guys.
Don't be Winnie the Pooh, okay?
Oh no, Winnie.
Not Winnie, be Winnie Chong, don't be Winnie the Pooh, okay?
Yeah, okay. Winnie Chong is very cool.
Yes, be Winnie Chong.
But Winnie the Pooh is cute. It's true. Okay, you can only
Yes.
be Winnie the Pooh for like 1 hour a day. The rest of the day, you gotta like be the buffalo. Yeah, it's good. Okay, I think we can start to like any other things you want to share before we like move to some announcements and all that. Like, yeah, anything that you have on your heart you want to share you know, with all the agents in KW.
Yeah. So everyone focus on production, focus on productivity, don't focus on gossip, don't focus on things that you cannot control, don't focus on things that actually doesn't matter to you. Right. You should wake up every morning and ask yourself, what am I doing to get that amount of leads, appointments into my database, into my business? That is your number one thing in your head. Because I promise you, if you keep focusing on that, you will see hope one. Because a productive person is normally a very hopeful person.
Right.
A less productive person is normally a very hopeless one.
Right.
So this is the season for us to focus on things that matter. Do not surround yourself with the gossips. Do not surround yourself with the conversations that is, there are a lot of gossips during crisis one, by the way. Who gets sacked lah, who didn't make money lah, who lose money lah, what's happening lah, I think we have to get over that, right? And focus on how can I achieve my goals. Because knowing the latest gossip is not going to help you get more leads. It's not going to pay more bills. Be real about, get real, get right, right? So focus on productivity, on production. Focus on that, because that is the one that will get you to cross the finishing line. And I promise you this year, those who focus on productivity, you will see a great year for you this year. This is going to be an awesome year, because 99% of the people in our industry are still staying still. That's the truth.
Right. So most of them are the resting bears that are just like being cute and lying down. Correct. So this is your opportunity to be different, to stand up, to find your people, to charge forward in courage and in boldness and all that, and to work hard and take the market share. Then you will see the results in time to come.
Correct.
Love it. It's great. Okay, let's have some announcements now, and then we'll just come back to get any last words from you. I know you just gave some last words, but you can get some last words. Okay. All right. So announcement. The flagship market center, the Amansara Perdana office, will be closed today and tomorrow. If you didn't see this announcement already, they're just fixing up the internet to make it better, and but you can still contact all your MCS and all that. So you need to go to office, only go on Wednesday. Okay, everybody. All right, next one. All right, so calling all Field Supang agents. Okay, there is an event happening today. Guys, come today. It says 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. but here it says power hour 11 a.m. to 12:30. and there's a doctor in the house 2 to 5. Okay, guys, so if you are part of this group, come. I think this is a fantastic opportunity. It looks like I Ching and George and Roland are going to be there, and also Winnie, I heard, is going to be there as well. Time to come and get all your questions answered. Yeah, it'll be at the clubhouse at the Glades, Subang Jaya, all day today. So yeah, you can meet to get support and get your questions answered and help you to talk about this, to set up your plan, find out what is the number you need to reach, how many appointments do you need to make every day, in order to reach your goals. Okay. All right, next one. Yes. Oh, more. We can see the pictures. Here we go. Yay, these are all your helpers that are going to be there. So please come. Yes. Okay, there's another one. Will be inshallah. This is on March 7th, next day. All right. So there's different locations you can go to get the help that you need. All right. So take note. If you're not sure, just contact your MCS to find out. Okay, here's a really cool opportunity. There's a master class. Be a capper and a royal capper, and close, so you can close 1 to 3 deals in 180 days. All right, so this is limited to 6 agents only. Yes, we have 2 serious buffalo here, Rena and Francis. I am speaking about their mindset, okay, not their size. I suddenly feel very funny to say that. Yeah. But seriously, these are like the most, like, you can see if you follow them on Facebook, like they are just ready to go. They have like strengthened themselves and they're teaming up and they're moving forward. Yeah. So yeah, come and join them. This is only opportunity for 6 agents. So if you want to get ahead, you're taking this seriously, there is a storm coming, you go and register on this. You can scan the QR code there. You go and register and show yourself that you are serious, that you actually are going to put in the work. You're not going to be complaining and like talking about how it used to be. You're going to take action and move forward. These are the people you want to join with. I just tell you right now. So it's a great opportunity. I hope all those that are serious will come and take this opportunity. Great. And we also have KW Cares. I am also wearing my KW Cares t-shirt. I hope you all have one. It's the best, my favorite t-shirt. My favorite KW t-shirt is the KW Cares t-shirt. Yeah, but you can come, please like and follow and share about KW Malaysia Cares with all of your social media accounts. And we want to really build this up. Yeah, this is an important part of our culture, that we care for those around us, and we want to win together. Together, everyone achieves more. Yeah, so just we have Instagram and Facebook. Awesome. All right, so we also have our client touch points that you can download and share. You make into a MOFIR, make an offer for immediate response. Yeah, you can send these out and get more people coming to you. All right, I think that's the last one, right? Anything else? Okay, so as you remember, this is where we are all entrepreneurs and we're going to thrive together as buffaloes. We got to get a buffalo hat. I saw your note, Fifi. We gotta make a buffalo hat. We need a designer. All right, so any last thing you want to share, John, before we go off?
Get to work, everyone. Get to work. It's time to work. It's time to labor. It's hard labor, but it's okay. It's the season of hard labor. I promise you will reap the fruits of the labor that you have put in. Whatsoever seeds that you sow, so shall you reap. Right? And it's time to go and harvest the field, because you have sowed a lot of seeds. It's time to harvest the field. Engage with the market center leadership, engage with the people, engage with the resources, engage with the trainings, engage with the technology. Because if you disengage on all these things, you are missing out. Right? It's time to change your mindset. It's time to change the way you do your things. And all of us have the ability, and capacity to make these changes happen. Right. So I pray that this year, at the end of this quarter, you have set your goals correctly and you have set your numbers correctly, and you're on your pathway to success. I wish that all of you do well, because I want all of you to do well. And 87% of the agents last year in our organization closed transactions. It's like unheard of, right? To have this 87%. That's a high percentage. So so I want all of us to increase to 100% that all of us transact this year. Right, so I think we can. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good day. We'll see you next round. See you guys around. Ignite starts tomorrow. Our next round. Sorry guys, just out.